today. If it's Monday, this must be Door County. On Saturday, I was in Salem, which is down near Kenosha, and on Thursday, I'll be in Pewaukee at the public library. But if it's Monday, this must be me. So I'm thrilled to be back in Door County. I always like to begin the program by saying that your access to me and the information that I can share doesn't end when the program ends. You can take one of my cards, you can go to my Facebook page, there I am. See my endless calendar of travels. There's Cedarburg just signed on. Oshkosh, that's coming up in September. Stoughton, they just booked their second event for 2025. So I'm adding new events weekly. I'm always happy to follow up. It seems like everyone's got more stuff and more questions about their stuff. So I'm kept busy that way. These events have been just wildly popular ever since I started doing them 13 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. And I think the main reason that they've been so popular is that people like the fact that this is not a shopping trip for me. I never offer to buy or sell on a commission at any of these programs. And people like that. They know that I'm not here looking to pick up a bargain and turn around and sell it and make money on it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what an antique dealer does. I'm not an antique dealer. I'm an appraiser only. These events that I do at libraries, historical societies, senior communities, and the house calls that I do are all that I do. For people with big things or fragile things or a lot of things. The home visit option has been a very popular one. In fact, I had two on the way up here today before the program. If I'm already in town like this for a program, there is no mileage charge. It's just $75 for an hour. You can look at an unlimited number of items in that time. So if a house call is something you think you would benefit from or enjoy, again, please take one of my cards and we can always arrange that for my next visit up here. And if you do have things that you want to sell, and I know many people do, I'm always happy to point folks in the right direction, either to a good local or regional auction house. I have a lot of collector and dealer contacts, and of course my colleagues on Antiques Roadshow. For 9 seasons, I was part of the Roadshow traveling gang. I love being on Antiques Roadshow. I love being part of the crew. But as you may know, we don't get paid to be on Antiques Roadshow, and we have to pay all our own travel expenses.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
So what do we get? We get the visibility and credibility of being part of a great program. We know we are at the top of our profession. It's wonderful to have access to all those other great minds and great experts. And we get to be at TV. That's fun. But we'll talk more about Roadshow later on in the program. People often ask how I got started in this crazy line of work. Like many of you, I began as a collector back in the 1970s. In the 1980s, I was a part-time dealer. My full-time job was I was a mild-mannered newspaper man for about 30 years, starting off at the Press Gazette back in the 70s. Wow, a long time ago. But most of my career across the river at Rochester Post-Bulletin in Minnesota. But I was always involved with antiques on the side, working at auctions and antique shows. In the 90s, I started writing antique reference books part-time, and I quit the newspaper business in 2002 to write the books full-time, and I've written 25 books on various antique and collectible categories. They're all out of print. So the books I wrote on antiques and collectibles have themselves become collectible. Not anything I ever expected to have happen. No matter how many of these events I do, I never know how much I know until I'm presented with a question, or a puzzle, or a challenge. So Laura, tell me about your first item for appraisal.
Right here, because. Thank you.
I thought it would be fun to start out with a dress.
Okay.
And to be honest, I have a few people I think it might have belonged to, but I'm not sure. Who had this would probably be, I'm not sure the time period, but looking at the sewing inside is just amazing. And
Yeah.
I think they sat there and sewed all these ruffles and this lining, and there's inside there's all of these.
Sure. Yes.
It's just
How did this wonderful old dress come into your life?
My mother had it, and when we split up her belongings, I just can't do anything else, so.
You're one of those. Can't throw, the ones that really keep me busy.
Yes. Here's a side thing.
It's late Victorian, definitely a late Victorian, I would say, 1890, maybe early 20th century, but boy, I'm thinking more likely to be the late last quarter of the 19th century. What else do you have there?
Well, this is a booklet from, I don't think it's the same great-grandmother, but one of them was a dressmaker.
Okay.
And this is her log of dresses that she's made and bloomers and all sorts of things she's making for people.
Okay.
And here in this book are the dates of 1871 up through 74. So
that makes perfect sense then.
I don't know if it was the same great-grandmother who had the dress, but I have this little booklet.
The website that I use more than any other in my events is this one. It's called liveauctioneers.com.
Okay.
This is a free website. It's a platform that allows people to bid on internet auctions. They have millions of auction listings. They have been around for more than 20 years, and they are a great resource for me. Now, because you have to register with them, you have to give them your information to get to the values, but it's a wonderful free website. This is a late Victorian open work lace cotton dress. Now this, I see we've got green velvet, which is kind of which to me just is more associated with Victorian. But this one that you're looking at now, very nice, nicely done, $150. Now the thing is, with old clothing like this, how do you display it? You can hang it up, you can put it on a dress form, but they're hard to display, and oftentimes they end up being donated to a museum or a historical society or the local community theater for wearing in a contemporary or a period drama.
And my sister did wear it in a high school play.
There you go.
But one thing I'm interested in, I don't know if you know how I should prepare it. Is it something I can do myself?
That is such a specialized group of, I mean, I think that's probably, your condition is really remarkable. Look at this one, which also has a separate jacket, just like yours. Lots of ruffles.
Oh, yeah.
But stained as they do get over time. And it's still sold for $70. So I would say, in your case, if you needed to insure it, maybe $150 to $200, I would say. But whatever you do and keep doing it, people, it's a temptation to store it in plastic. That should never be, because it traps the moisture and it ends up looking like this dress here, which is stained, and so a beautiful dress.
And I was thinking of maybe giving it to the Neville Museum, since this is probably someone from Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure
I don't know if they'd like it.
I'm sure they get a lot of donation offers, but it's tough to display it well.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Laura. Good.
And next on the list is
Sue
Sue Jarish.
Jarish. Hello.
Oh. This is amazing, like my uncle got in Russia, and he was an officer in the special forces back during World War II.
Oh my.
Working for Capo Diamante.
Yes. Yes. Capo Diamante mark is the N with a crown. That stands for Naples. And this is a pretty, actually, I think this is Hannibal. This is a pretty gruesome battle scene with elephants and soldiers, and I'm pretty sure it's a battle that Hannibal was in. The condition is great. A lot of times when you have a vase like this, of course, if it's really valuable, it's a vase. This is a vase. But oftentimes when you have a molded vase like this, that where the details are in really high relief, it's very easy to get nicked and dinged and damaged otherwise. So what we're looking for is a Capo Diamante. We'll let that type in there. Of a battle scene.
Well,
Think, pretty close, no cigar though. But, let's open this up. Another classical scene. That leopard skin is obviously much too small. Okay, so I wanna narrow this down. Anyway, that was offered for sale back in 2018. Let's change battle to elephant. There's one vase with an elephant. Okay. We were doing better with battle. Hannibal, that would be a good one. Now, this is interesting. Now, I wonder if once upon a time, if this had a cover. Well,
It's not round, it's kind of the oval.
it is, yeah, and it's also decorated around the top there. So, I don't think it was ever covered. But that's the same battle scene.
do you think this is hand painted?
Oh yes, that's a hallmark of Capo Diamante design. It's wonderful. Aha,
There it is.
well,
That's got the
I
same,
think that's it.
that's got the same relief around the top.
Let's see, it does. But I think this is a different classical scene. There they are. No mark on the bottom, but the top, I don't know if you can see it very well, right there. There you can see the same design there, right here. There it is. So what did it sell for? Figural porcelain vase, $175 2 years ago. Yeah, I would say that would be, if someone offered you $200, that would be a fair price.
Somebody does.
Okay, good.
A dealer for building it or
Well, that dealer may offer you a dealer price, so keep that in mind. Good. Thanks, Sue. Tom Zawicki.
That's me. Surgeon David in Chicago for a while, we bought an old gravestone and this is it. So
Okay.
it's an Orientalist
Yes.
Seraglio. And I had it cleaned about 40 years ago.
Okay. Charles Leon. Well, I'm glad you mentioned Orientalist because in the Victorian era, the Victorians considered the Middle East the Orient. And so this whole school of art emerged. There were harem scenes, there were desert hunting scenes, there were, anything that was exotic and Middle Eastern as a topic was a popular subject matter. So the condition is great. I'm glad you cared enough to have it cleaned. A painting needs to be maintained. If you think of a painting like a classic car or an old Victorian house, if they're not maintained, they just go to pieces. Same with the painting. So yeah, a carob, seraglio, oil on canvas.
Yeah, I tried to find the artist.
I did too. I saw the list in advance, and there were several artists associated with the Orientalist movement named Leon, but as a first name, not as a last name. So almost 400 results here. A little more dramatic, but the size is, what was it, 28 by 20. So 20 inches tall, 20, almost the exact same size, 19th century, oil, $400 to $500. But they left this in the house that you bought.
Well, it was an old couple. It was actually this old German couple, and they had sold to somebody, and the person they sold to us, so it's
Okay.
in the house. But actually, in the basement, which was spotless, it was very clean.
Okay.
And again, I did have a clean as well. So.
Yeah. So a very popular late Victorian subject matter. Pardon?
19th century. Or
I think it could be late Victorian, 1880, 1890. If you saw it in a good antique shop, easily $500 or $600, I would say. I bet it costs more than that to have it clean.
it was 40 years ago.
Yeah, right. Right. So anyway, a very still a very popular design. If enlisted artists, of course, can be very expensive. 18,000 for that one. So that's just
I'd
like
be happy to take that for this. But
you would take. Would you sell for half that in cash? Good. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Nikki Cafton. Hello.
First, hi. So this is a camera that belongs to my late grandfather
Okay.
in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Sure.
There's for glass negatives. Some of those are
There we go.
so they use glass negatives.
Sure they do.
So we have
Yeah.
a collection of these.
Oh, wow. Have you ever printed a positive, or have you ever done a scan of these?
Okay, the problem is you end up with sort of a double image.
Right.
You have to have a very particular kind of skin, but you can tell me about.
Well, what I was going to say is whether it's a period like this, a negative. So this is a print of one of the pictures.
Yeah,
What a great picture.
that's actually my grandfather right there, just under.
Oh man, he looked good in a straw hat.
Yeah, and that's my grandfather, Jim Burford, who worked for the Green Bay Press Gazette, who was the head of distribution,
Oh my.
like 1910s to 1960, something like that. Right?
That just I missed him. I didn't get a chance to work with him. So this is a
how you would insert this.
yeah. This is so it's all mahogany. Is there a maker's name on it anywhere?
Correct.
Okay, right. It said that talking about the printing frame. I just wanted to make sure that it was in here. So that was this piece right here. Okay. So the bellows, as you can imagine, is the most easily damaged, and this one, it looks like the mice have been after it, perhaps. But imagine making a camera all out of mahogany, and at that time it would have been Central American mahogany. So I mean, it could still be used, and you could still print from the place. But what I was going to say is, when you have old photos and when you have glass negatives, you should make a scan out of them, a digital scan, high res, at least 300 dpi, so that no matter what happens to it, it will always exist digitally, and you could, whatever happens to the other piece, the print or whatever, it will always exist in a timeless digital format.
You know, we had a lot of printed photos, which he put into albums. He didn't print everything. And I scanned all of those. He ended up with about 1,000 photos.
Wow.
But now you're making me realize I should have scanned the
Well,
names too.
You know, so I mean, Kodak made many different styles of mahogany cameras. Some are much more elaborate than others. I mean, this is a half plate field camera, but you can see the track down there where you pull it, and now do you have the lens that would have fit in there?
I don't think so.
No, that's okay. So it's in.
Yeah.
Last year, when this Sanderson, a half plate mahogany and brass field camera, so this is something that they would have mounted on, that sold for $200. They would have mounted it on a stand or like this one. There you go. So this is a #1 view camera, sideways.
Yeah, that's true.
With a complete camera like this can sell for $1,000. And there are still people who actually use them to make images. Here's a large format. You see where the lens would have been mounted there, and it's almost like a guillotine. You can raise it and lower it and lock the lens into place. 120. This is a large format camera that sold for in 2016, and it's because it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Probably less than $100, but still a great survivor.
Yeah. Fun.
There we go. Thank you. Yes, very compact. Thanks for bringing it. Okay. Sure.
So,
Thank you, Dickie. The Walkers, Dave and Kirsten. I don't see them here. We'll circle back to them in a bit. Antonia. Do I have to say Nelson? There couldn't be another Antonia in here, could there? Never know. That, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Finally found out how to get it off last night, now I keep it.
That is a fabulous tobacco jar or humidor. Yeah, let's take this out and let everybody see. So, well, tell me how you came to have this.
My mother was an antiquer when we were growing up, and it sat in this little shelf, we used to play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Never realized, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so nice, it comes tobacco, with its own little ashtray.
Yeah. Well, this actually is, yes, it could be used as an ashtray, but sometimes they were used to hide a sponge, a damp sponge inside the lid to keep the tobacco moist.
That's cool.
But the most interesting information should be here on the bottom, and I don't see it, because this is made by the Wave Crest. This is a Wave Crest tobacco jar or box, enamel decorated, 1880. They were the company that made these, CF Monroe, also made dresser sets. And so you can see how something like this would have been used on a lady's dresser, not for tobacco, but for, you know, powder and puffs and things like that. So, So these are, aha, he said.
Oh, yay.
See, this is why I get the big money.
Yes.
So, unmarked wave crash tobacco jars. So, they do come unmarked. That's interesting. There it is. Now, do they have the insert? They do not. What does that say? Oh, there was a label on there. Okay.
Right, yeah.
So did it sell for? $90 when it sold a little over a year ago. Let's go back here. So there's another one, $100. There's another one, $200. And that one has the interior, come on, there it is. What you have. So enamel decorated, but it was the C.F. Monroe company that made these. Say that about illegal tobacco. No. No chips, no cracks, no repairs. Yes, if someone offered you $200 for it, that would be a fair price.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Where would I find them? Just go here?
If that's something that you want to sell, I would, no, I wouldn't, because these are for auctions. But
Got it.
if you want to sell it, I would try Facebook Marketplace, it's free. You're dealing with people locally. Start at 200 and see what kind of interest you get. There's one for $3. Wow.
Hey. And it's Waverly is the name, correct?
Wave Crest.
Wave Crest. All right, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Christian Walker's
Oh. Oh, okay. Kirsten. Hello. That is beautiful. What do you know about this beautiful piece?
Yeah, it was that my grandmother always had it, but hutch.
I think that there's a mark on it. And I think that it is the mark. Oh, it says Nippon. Okay, I was guessing another mark. But that's okay. So Japanese, there were several makers that were making pieces like this. This is about 1880. The most famous was the Moran brothers, who made millions and millions of pieces of really high quality porcelain. But this is a fabulous footed vase, marked Nippon, with roses and gilt decoration. So that's really how we do this, we do our job like that, is to narrow down the search terms. So we have Nippon, footed, roses, gilt. I don't think, no, there's never covered. Now, what are the odds that we will find an exact copy? Let's take gilt off. Get more results.
What do you think about the way this, that means something?
Yeah, no, that's scalloped.
This is just decoration.
Yep. No, it's not. No, that's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, when you see a piece like this, it's a transfer decoration, which means it was laid on like a decal. This is not. This is absolutely
What do you think this little house is?
hand painted. Yeah, a little.
It seems like it doesn't go with
No,
this.
it doesn't. It really, because those roses are so kind of over the top. I mean, that's a similar style, pre-1921. Yep. But you can see that the decoration is all very, very similar. A little bit gaudy, a little bit showy.
Very grandmother.
There's one again. Now this one does not. It has a little bit. These little gold circles. That's called moriaga. That refers to raised enamel decorations on Asian, mostly Japanese pottery.
lot of.
So in terms of value, yeah, look at the top of that also. Scalloped. There is the mark of the Moran brothers. It's the letter M in a wreath. It says hand painted. They also made Noritake. They're known for that. So it's a fabulous late night. I think right around the turn of the century. There's a little wear, but not too bad. Our retail, if you saw that in a good antique shop, would be $150.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Kirsten. Paul Haney. Okay. He's waving. You know, when I'm up here blathering away, sometimes I fall into antique speak, and if I use a term or words that you're not familiar with, or if you have a question about anything that we're talking about, please wave or yell or throw something at me. And I'll try and answer your questions. Hello, Paul.
Hi.
I'm gonna walk around the front here and look at what we have. You hold it, and then come back.
You come back here.
Well, that's a pretty dramatic painting of a couple of guys in a birch bark canoe. Bastow, 1036, I think it says. I wonder if this was an illustration for someone. How did this come into your life?
Actually, my father bought it.
Oh, okay.
I remember him bringing it home when I was 6 years old.
Huh. It's really, really well done. In an illustrator kind of way. It's the kind of picture that you might have expected in the 1930s or 40s to see on a calendar. But I love the way I love the impasto, which is the weight of the paint on the canvas. But then the name is not, it's B-A-S-T-O, Philip R. Goodwin, original art done.
I thought it was P-H-S-T-O. W.
Let me see it again here. You can lay it down.
Mike.
Just gonna turn. Well, I'm pretty sure, I think that's a B. I think it's a B, B-A-S-T-O-W. Let's try that one. So you think that this is a copy of another painting by Goodwin? Maybe?
Maybe, yeah. But Goodwin died in 35, so
Yeah.
this is in 36.
There's a website that I use for fine art, and it's this one. It's called pastart.com. This is a subscription-based site. For me as an appraiser, it's a good investment. It costs me less than $1 a day to use this, but it is the nice thing is to start typing in an artist's name, and it fills in other possibilities. There's nothing coming up for Bastow. So we're going to go back to live auctioneers. Nothing's coming up in that area. So then
I'll go back on the wall.
Yeah, I think that whoever Bastow was copying a more famous painting by Philip R. Goodwin. Let's see what happens here.
I wrote this with a print that you copied over.
You know what? It doesn't look like that, but then you can see. And here's a painting after. When you see after, or by an artist's name, it means that it was a copy of, or it was produced after that artist's lifetime.
Yes.
But you know what? That painting still sold for $750. I think that's a better painting than this one, frankly. There we go. This is a lithograph. So Goodwin was known, and there's the signature down there. Goodwin was known for making, he was an illustrator, and these did in fact end up on calendars. Even a lithograph still sold for $650. If you saw that in a good yours in a good antique shop, at least $800, maybe $1,000. It's a really nice painting.
Well, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing it.
Sure.
Okay.
Pleasure.
You betcha. Mary Wagnitz.
Mary did not come, so
Okay.
we have a substitute.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe's in his place, American place.
Or her representative.
And it, yep. Cool.
Hello. Let's let our audience at home see it. A nice moody snow scene. How do you come to have this?
That's my
Okay. 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 So this is not an original work of art. It is a photomechanical print. It's a picture of a picture. So they took the original painting and they photographed it in such a way that people without a lot of money buying furniture at the furniture store could also get a nice picture to hang on the wall when they got their living room suite. So it's good. Sometimes on Antiques Roadshow we talk in code, and one of the code phrases we use is, "Well, it has decorative value," and that means that if you love it and it's in good shape, that's great. But in terms of monetary value, if someone offered you $50 for it, that would be all. Okay. Thank you. Oftentimes, too, some people, when they come to my events, what they're really doing is asking permission to take the object home, open the basement door, throw it down the steps, and never look at it again. Now, I don't want them to throw that away. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Good. George, is it Jock?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What you,
Always trust a man in a vest.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Is it right? Is that
Yes, that's
absolutely
right.
good? Okay.
All right, so this is a polar opposite of the first thing
Yeah.
you saw,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's never been over there.
Okay, well then I won't, because we can look at other companies. It's Andy Warhol's suit dress, the super dress. Now offer expired 1968. Good. So this is an original. How the heck did you get an Andy Warhol's super dress?
Well, this was a promotion
Yep.
at a supermarket that my dad worked for in
Okay.
Chicago, and he would collect anything, and
Sure.
that must have been an extra one, and he brought it home.
The amazing thing is that the directions are, it's paper, but it's fire resistant. It's been treated.
Mhm.
And it says if you wash it, it's not going to be fire resistant anymore. It'll just, go up in flames if you get it near a match. This was also reissued in 1983, and the ones that were made in 1983 just bring a fraction of what the ones from the original ones from 67, 68. This says there's a coupon in there. It says offer expires 1968. So we know that this is the original, the super dress. And there they are. Now, yeah. So this is what it looks like. You know what? you should take it out and frame it, and, I mean, it's never been out of that bag.
No, it has not.
What I would suggest is, very carefully, is to put it in a paper folder rather than a plastic bag,
Okay.
to keep it from getting moisture trapped in there. So, anyway, I mean, even look at this one. Look at the stain, the big, they look like they spilled soup on it. And it's still sold for $3,700. Now there's, there it is, no cleaning, no washing, it's carefree, fire resistant, unless washed or cleaned. To refresh and press lightly with a warm iron, cellulose and cotton. Now, some of the dresses don't have this double bar across the bottom. And some of them, you can see there also, it's a little bit ragged. I don't know if it was cut or what. But most of the ones with the double or triple bar, this one in 2018 sold for $4,500. Let's go back here. Let's get the most. The nice thing about live auctioneers is that you can also look at it, the values in different ways. I want the most recent information. Now there's one with no bars on the bottom, no gold bars. 1,400, 1,800, 1,000. Here's one 3,800. Now David Rago, my pal from Roadshow, sold this last year. Must have been in just spectacular condition. There's that label again. That one sold for 3,800. 4,000. So 5,500. Why the heck did that sell for $5,500? Let's see. Oh, and you've got the tags though in there as well.
Right. Both of them.
Yeah, there it is. There's the tag, and there down at the bottom. It says offer expires 1968. Good only in the United States and Puerto Rico. Yeah. $5,500. So take good care of it. And it might be worth it to have it framed. However, if you keep it folded up in its original condition, it might sell for more. But if you wanted to sell it, there's still a market out there.
And this would be the best place to, the live auction?
Well, this is a platform that allows auction houses to sell on the internet. Some auction houses have their own website.
Mm-hmm.
Some use live auctioneers. There's also Invaluable. There's BidSquare. There's iBid. These are auction platforms. But if you wanted to sell this, I've been working lately with an auction house in Cambridge, Wisconsin, down near Madison. It's Greg Kluge is the auctioneer, a good Wisconsin name. Major Wisconsin Auctions is the name of his company.
Okay.
You can find him on the internet.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
He would do a good job for you. Thank you, George.
You're very
All right. Now number 10, that person couldn't make it, but someone has a question. You, lady, yes.
My friend brought me bronzes from Benin today, clean.
Yeah,
And I read an article about some museums having to
repatriate, yes.
Are these, now, the one that I have, the queen was poured, but part of it didn't pour properly, so there's a little bit out of the bottom. Is it worth anything?
Well, there are many, I mean, the people of Benin in West Africa have been known for their work in bronze for hundreds and hundreds of years. To show you, let's just say it's the queen.
Wow.
Do they look like that?
Yes.
Okay. So the quality of the Benin bronzes varies quite a bit. But some Benin bronzes, you're right, have been repatriated, but they come on the market all the time, and some of them, I mean, they're really striking, I think, and strong, wonderful human figures about how tall are they? So they're tiny. I mean, the first ones we looked at here, these two,
Yeah, those are more like.
they are, okay,
Not the one on the left, but the one on the right.
this one.
And the skirt or the part under is kind of a crisscrossing thing. It's
Okay.
not
A cross-hatching pattern, okay.
Yeah.
Those two sold for $550 when they were offered for sale in 2018. Just for fun, here are a pair. Not a lot of money, I mean, $1,600 for the pair. Looks like they also have some significant damage. How tall were they? Almost 5 feet tall.
But that's the whole line, mine are just.
Right, I understand. Yep. The Yoruba people of the 850 AD. And still, I mean, that's just fabulous casting. Really, really striking. And it's still $900. That's very affordable, I think. So, there you go.
Thank you.
Good. Colleen Zimmerman is here. Hello.
These, my,
Oh, yeah, I remember, I saw the listing of these. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So these are insignia off the uniform. Looks like he was in the Corps of Engineers.
he was a guard at Southern.
Oh, okay. So these, you think that these came from some of the prisoners who were incarcerated at Leavenworth, Kansas? Oh, my goodness. It looks like these may have been framed at one point. Was it in a frame?
I don't know.
Okay. These marks here, these little castles, those are symbols for the Corps of Engineers. This says Fort Benjamin Harrison, wherever it is. There's an eagle, there's more. There's a caduceus. Oh my goodness. So dates on these are probably, so you're thinking before World War I. Okay. Okay. And if that is the case, I would say that most of these are either Spanish-American War, which was 1893, or perhaps Civil War. It's unusual to see a collection like this that is not associated with an individual. In other words, these were a bunch of people, a bunch of prisoners. Yeah. Now these are later, but so that group sold for $50. These are also later. Assorted military insignia, heraldry, but not American. Those are all some World War I as well. But you can see that they come up for auction quite a bit. And mean, looking at the comparison of values that I'm seeing here, kind of a mixed bag, but, negotiating, some of those are signal core. $100. I mean, I think if you wanted to sell, there are many duplicates, so I mean, we must have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Corps of Engineers. There are these cross cannons, which I saw another one of here. There's cavalry, there's a musician badge there. It's a really good mix of, but I think they're because they're Spanish-American War and Civil War, I would say, I mean, individually you would probably be able to sell more, but this collection should be worth at least $150, $200, somewhere in there. Thanks for bringing them. Okay. There's a lot more out there for sale than I expected. Thanks, Colleen. Eve Peterson, Muller or Mueller?
Whatever you like.
Okay.
Sealed it all up.
That's
It's
fine.
raining.
Yeah, well,
And we took it out of the frame.
we need the rain. Okay, that's loose. All it takes. Ah.
She was saying like she looks and she.
And we are unable to decipher as an artist's name.
Okay,
So that's why we draw it.
okay, here, let's take this off so that we can let everybody see. It is a dramatic interpretation of the crucifixion. Signed and dated, or signed and numbered, 57 out of 100. And in pencil, signed down there. I can't tell you offhand who it is either, but it might be Ogrit or, yeah.
We got to use that hurt that case.
How do you come to have this?
We ran across it and bought basically a vintage tin reception.
Okay,
And it was framed in such a manner that I assumed it was donated to a church.
okay,
It
yeah,
had a plaque, a brass plaque on appraise, saying on behalf of.
sure. A family or an individual or something like that, okay. Okay,
Very old.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the date has gotta be, late 19th century. Lot of foxing. You see these little brown marks. That's a mold that grows on paper. And it's so, on a 19th century, this is an etching. You can feel very carefully around the edge, there is a gutter. And when you see that or feel that gutter, and I mean, this is really, it's really shallow, but it's still, when you feel that gutter, you know that it is an etching or an engraving. In this case, I'm pretty sure it is a etching. So what do we know? It is crucifixion, mark spelled right. Catholic schoolboys should all know how to spell that. Something. It'll come. Decide with pencil.
Or ate somebody. About the magic Caribbean.
Oh, pencil. Mark. Flip. There we go. So Another good way to track down the creator of something like this is, and it's a really dramatic scene, is Google Lens. I don't know if you've ever used that. Take a picture using Chrome, using a Chrome browser window. It will track down other images of that. There's Salvador Dali's interpretation of the crucifixion. Google Lens, I think, would be a good one.
I get that.
At any rate,
Yeah,
because of the subject matter, it's a limited appeal outside a religious setting. And the condition is pretty good, considering that it's got to be 120, 130 years old. Very dramatic. And big, beautiful print in pretty good condition.
that's rather rare.
Couple $100, I would say, in a retail setting. There have got to be a lot more. I don't think it would be an engraving. It's not an engraving, because engravings are really, really finely detailed. Yeah. Yeah. Very. Yeah. So
Okay,
I would say a couple $100. Okay.
good.
Thank you.
It is about the land.
Yeah, and the artist signing pictures like that, you know, it drives us today nuts because we can't tell the name of the artist. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might be a G or it might be a Z. Could stay here a long time. Okay, thank you. Marge Branson. I saw a wonderful book on my house call today, The Witchery of Archery. You don't have one of those, do you?
No,
Okay.
I wasn't sure which one to bring, because I was curious about both of them.
Okay,
This is a French, 1612,
okay,
sea battle.
okay.
And this one, I put it in 12 because the leather was
Oh,
so
sure.
delicate.
Sure,
But I
yeah.
didn't know how to protect it so it didn't get broken
Yeah,
down.
yeah, it's called Morocco. It is very fine. Well,
It's
do you
not
have a
this-
favorite?
This one.
This one, okay. This is
It's not it's on the side.
okay,
And the original publisher sold the business to a couple of different companies. So I've been able to get the current publisher.
it's a beautiful, it's gotta be a private printing. It says Brentanos, London, New York.
And I,
Oh, yeah.
as a gift to the family.
Yeah, wonderful. There's a website that I use just for old books, and it's called abebooks.com. It's the one I use more than any other. There are several of these out there, but I like ABE Books. ABE Books is a worldwide network of sellers of used, rare, and out-of-print books. Now, because they are retailers, I tend to think that their values are kind of on the high side. But what they have that I find helpful is they have really detailed condition reports. So you can compare the condition of your books with the books for sale here. So we have Dante's The New Life. The other thing you run into is reprints. Now this has translated, but no copyright date, which is interesting. I don't see
Oh,
one
my
here.
chances are in the back.
Oh, is it in the back? Okay,
It's in the back.
I don't wanna take a chance. I'll, if that doesn't narrow it down here. But this was There are 16 results for this book. Now that is, oh gosh, that's so tiny.
I couldn't find that.
I think the cover may have been a custom made that with the lines. $135 for that one. $161. This also defaults to the lowest price. So if we go to the highest price. You do like pictures by Evelyn Paul? Is that the thing you do? Yep, Evelyn Paul.
Next.
$3,700.
No, boy, this thing.
Very, very artsy. Well, there's the cover page right here. Right there. It's very arts and crafts stuff. But I think that's the only cover page. So I think that the cover was a separate cover.
So you mean someone else would have put
Yes.
another cover on that?
Yes.
All right, okay.
3,200 for that. Now, are there any others that have fancy, and you'll also find reprints?
Reprints even with the pages that are as colorful and as detailed.
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
staggering what they can do with scanning.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say with that cover, what I would do is I would contact this seller, he's in London, Peter Harrington,
Okay.
and say, here I have the same copy, but with this fancy cover, what do you think it's worth? But I'm gonna say hundreds. I don't think it's worth, I think 3,200 is a little ambitious. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome, thank you.
Sure.
Robert Richards. Hello.
Here.
Sorry.
Never did sit with it either.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's a cat carafe. Right?
It's from Finland.
Is it?
Well, it was 1800 something.
Yeah.
Probably Russia then.
It could be. It could
It was
be.
my great grandfather's.
Oh, no.
I love it. It's all hand blown. It has a rough pontal. No, it may have been ground. So this is the pontal. That's where it was on the end of the glass board pipe. They break it off. It's just anything figural like that. Making the tail into a handle is really wonderful. And you know, the artists in Murano, the glass blowers in Italy, were also making pieces like that. So, what are the odds that we would find another cat carafe? Well, you never know. You never know. What other words for carafe? Unless it's what?
Jug.
A jug?
My grandmother used to say it was my great grandfather's brand jug.
Yes, I think that we may do better. There are some glass ones here.
Yeah.
Would it help if you put long ones?
Pardon?
Would it help if you put long ones?
That would narrow it down, but there's only 112. But that's a good point. That may be too specific. I guess not. Couple. What about amount? That may be way too specific. Yeah, it is.
Picture?
Yeah, but picture tends to be an open vessel, you know, rather than something like this, which was clearly meant to be sealed.
Yeah.
See, something like that. But that's Blanco. So that's very contemporary.
Yeah.
Here's another one. See, that's Delft. But see, the same thing, they use the tail for the handle.
Yes, that.
They're out there. See, there's another one, also Blanco.
You're gonna help them, so there's the more.
Yeah, go make it, so, gin pig. See, this is why I love my job, because I am always learning. Bingo. Thank you, Laura. A British glass gin pig, late 19th, early 20th century. So not 1850, but 19th century.
But the gin.
Look at there. But now yours has that wonderful spiral design. This one is very, very simple. So Heritage Auction Galleries down in Dallas sold this one. Oh, I've got to find another one.
But this has been blown into a form with the knobs on it like that?
No, I don't think so.
Twisted it?
I think well, it could have been blown into a mold, I suppose. But the whole thing is just, it's so whimsical and so wonderful. This gin pig sold for $320. Let's say take glass off. This one is Scandinavian. I think he had been drinking gin when he made that one. $80. There's another pig right there. There's a green one. Look at that guy. Oh, and with silver overlay. Fancy, fancy. $100. Yeah, well, now you said something was broken on him?
My grandmother broke the ear off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, right there. There's like the lady who called me up with the, she had a cookie jar, she wanted me to help her figure out what it was worth, and she was describing it over the phone. I said, is it perfect condition? She said, it's 95%. So is your gin pig. Yeah. There you go. Thanks. That was fun. Thanks, Laura.
I use Google Lens.
Yeah, which I recommended. Google Lens is a great tool for giving you not only images but language. We are right on time. We're going to mush into hour 2 with Bill Dean. He's representing. Oh, here he is. Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
Fun is of all the things we can have. Fun is the best thing. Hello, Bill. Good. You? Good. Trust the man in the best.
Oh, you said it twice.
Yes. Just trying to think you would expect to find indoor company.
Interesting.
So what do you know about this wonderful old schooner picture?
Vanderbilt.
Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah.
William Vanderbilt's yacht. He named it after his daughter, Consuelo,
Yeah,
and there she is here.
right?
This is from Glenn Palace. This is her.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the same scene
the other way around.
Right, it's backwards.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is inside, the breakers,
uh-huh,
Newport,
right.
and their cottage.
So this is a copy of the,
Yes.
well,
And then the big one is, you know,
yeah,
huge.
right.
And so
Well-
this is a little one.
William Kissam Vanderbilt, I believe is what his name, or it was a Kittum. He had many yachts.
But this is the only one like that.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, he had the Ranger, he had the Ajax, he had, several others. He was a true Vanderbilt in that way, he was always, adding to it. But there were two Consuelos, there was one who died when she was 87, and another one who died at 107.
Wow.
Two Vanderbilts. So how do you come to have this?
I bought it about 40-some years ago.
Okay.
And I had no idea what it was, and it was by accident when I was in the breakers when I saw the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, my God, what is it? You know, who is this?
Sure.
And I knew it was had Vanderbilt on the bow. But,
Right.
At any rate, they had no idea.
Okay.
And so again, later, many years later, maybe 8 years, 10 years ago, I saw something where Vanderbilt had this boat, and it was named after his daughter, Consuelo.
And you can, at first you don't realize it, but the American flag is backwards, and it could just be flying that way. But also the text here
Right.
on the top mast is also backwards. So this is let me take a closer look here. No, it is not a photomechanical print. It is a lithograph, a good lithograph, but again, it is reversed. This was framed in the 1970s, I would bet to say. Is that
I bought it in 1980 plus.
okay? The reason I tell you that it's
It came
19,
from the gallery in the back.
okay, is this mat right here. You see how the,
Yeah.
well, no, this mat. See,
Okay.
this mat is starting to turn brown, and that means that it is not archival. It will leave a burn mark.
Okay.
So you've got this beautiful archival mat on the top with a wonderful white edge. And overall, the condition of it is great. You got it at Arthur Ackerman.
That was the original
Yeah.
gallery.
Yeah, rare old lithograph, Vanderbilt yacht. So, these do come up for sale. And a good lithograph can sell for hundreds of dollars. Now, this I think is a later print, not only because it's a mirror image, but because of the way it was framed. So there are dioramas, there are pond yachts, the rainbow, I think that was a different one, that was William. I don't think that was Williams. So these are all various, I mean, there's a you know, you see, but you'll see a lot of models. In the 1930s, many people were building models of Vanderbilt yachts. There's a searchlight off it.
Look on the suit.
There's an original oil on canvas, but,
That's it.
yeah, I think that's it.
That's the good one.
Now, this is a giclée, which means that it was printed on a dot matrix printer, a jet printer. And this one was not, because they didn't have jet printers back then. But look at the quality of the image. It is still sold for $250 5 years ago. I would say about $250 is what this one's worth. Yeah, you're welcome. There are legendary stories about the Vanderbilts and their yachts, and the names at Consuelo. I think the Consuelo that this one was named after was once the Duchess of Marlborough. Right?
Yes.
It was a marriage of convenience. On their wedding day, the Duke came to Consuelo and said, I only did this for money. to save my estate, and so they divorced later on. Yeah, amazing.
I was in the
Yeah.
house once.
Yeah.
House once.
Yeah, so a wonderful, that story is, will always follow this boat. Thank you, here, let me hold this. All right, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
John Cole.
One minute. I think
Is here.
please.
Hello,
This is a commission piece by a famous Wisconsin artist.
okay. Oh, my goodness, that was by my father. By Bernard Joseph Michael Moran, the Blaney funeral, oh gosh, he ended up going to Blaney too. When he was 86, he turned 86. And my mother died at 95 last September. So this is so sweet. Thanks for bringing that, that's very nice. It's priceless.
Yes.
Yes.
It's original.
No.
But we had it, we had your dad draw it for my dad's 50th anniversary of being a funeral director.
That's so,
And then he died the next week. So I mean, it was like the only gift we ever gave him that he really liked.
That's very sweet, that's very thoughtful, thank you. We've got heads,
Yeah.
and we've got some other stuff.
We each had.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had something, so you can do that.
Okay. That is a big, beautiful China head. So it's got a patent applied for on the back, Germany. How did you get this? Ruth, it says on the front, how'd you get this?
I married her.
Is that right?
My mom had it, and I think
Okay.
it was her aunt's, and I remember her saying that she got it out of the barn in Hoyden, where her family was from. But I remember when I was about, I think, 1968, we went to Chicago, and we saw Ruth in the Museum of Science and Industry.
Oh, okay.
Ah, there's Ruth.
So China head dolls came after the more expensive and more elaborate bisque head doll. I mean, they were made at the same time, but the date of, she dates from right around 1900. The body would, the cloth or kid body would fit up inside, and then you could sew into it. But this is a big one. This is not the biggest China head I've ever seen, but it's pretty close. And China head dolls are identified by their hairstyle. In this case, we know who this is because it says Ruth right on the front. There's one.
Yep.
So this one says Ruth. This one says what? Mabel. And that one says Miriam. Yep.
That's.
So, pet name shoulder heads for the China head doll. And they call it the shoulder head just because it stops at the shoulder. It's like a bust. The 3 of those sold for $50. But for instance, if someone's wanting to say, they said they wanted to sell a China head doll, but they wanted to be specific about the style, they might cite the name of it. For instance, there's one called Covered Wagon. And that's the covered wagon style, which is kind of a Mary Todd Lincoln look. There she is, all hand painted, nice rosy cheeks. $140 when that one sold with all the clothing. Covered wagon, China head. So they're all by themselves. Retail on her is probably about $40 or $50, I would say. Okay, what's next?
You know, and I know you can't give this stuff away, but
Right,
like this is what,
okay. Ask Connie. from my old employer, Antique Trader Magazine. How about that? Copeland's Fold. So is it part of a larger set?
It's a set of 12,
Okay. 12 place settings?
yeah.
Okay. So this is gravy boat with attached under plate. Beautiful stuff. Do you ever use it?
Yeah, I do now because like, no one wants it.
Right.
So that's why I use it for,
If you can't put it in the microwave, or you can't put it in the dishwasher, it just does not get used. It just becomes,
you know.
it just becomes beautiful, and a very effective, dust collector.
The past couple of years I've been using it quite often because we've had the king's coronation, the queen's funeral, the royal
Yep.
wedding, so I'm
Yep,
using it.
yep. So the decoration on these pieces is beautiful. You've got this wonderful kind of a chain there. These are a transfer decoration. That's hand painted right there. But these other designs, those are laid on like a decal, so that they could make them fairly quickly. But there was Copeland's Fold is still a very popular pattern.
They found it way around 1847.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it would have originated. I think these are probably second half, well into the 19th century, maybe a little bit later. So these are all examples of Copeland Spode patterns. You don't have a pattern name by any chance. I didn't see it. I didn't see one. I just saw a style number on this one.
It's an RN number, 66719.
667195. We'll try that. We'll try that.
No,
That's okay.
I guess we saw something once about a basket, maybe the woman's basket.
Basket. We can try that. There are several that have that name, but I don't see that that is a matching pattern design. But again, that's what the great thing about live auctioneers is that you can get, now that is a beautiful set. You've got covered tureens and platters and covered butter and how many total pieces? An extensive Copeland Spode collection. There's the mark, the same mark that we have on here. The whole pile sold for $127.
So keep using it.
Yeah, absolutely. How many pieces? It doesn't say 60 pieces. And that was offered for sale in 2021, so. But, somewhere out there, there's someone who knows a lot more about Copeland Spode than I do, and they will know exactly the name of that pattern. Thanks. All right.
Keep using it.
There's that. And thank you so much for bringing that picture from
Very
Bernie.
Very talented artist.
Yes, he sure was. He did an apple tree, an original pen and ink drawing of an apple tree for a doctor in Door County.
Oh.
And he left it on the dining room table. And my brother Paul came downstairs and wrote his name in the corner. And Dad was furious. But when he told, and he was able to remove the crayon, but when he told the doctor about it, the doctor was so taken with what Paul did, and Paul eventually became an artist as well, that he sent him a can of maple syrup every year. From then on, he thought, never be afraid to write your name. Simo, why does that name look so familiar? Kayakan. Okay.
Doing it for us.
Okay. Hello.
I have a spoon funny.
See that?
I want to like.
Oh my goodness. Look at all those wonderful Those are some early spoons. How did you get these?
I don't know. From the family.
Oh, okay. They're absolutely, they are fiddle pattern is what they call these, all hallmarked. But they have a stag and a crown.
One of these.
Oh, okay, that one dated, yeah, these are early to mid 19th century, but the fiddle pattern gets its name from the profile of the handle, fiddle thread. And what people don't realize is how thin these are. The bowls they're not thick and heavy like we have today, but they all have this stag and crown, which I have not seen. Do you know? I mean, they're English, right?
Right. And then there is a mark there. Either, I don't know.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. So those are the hallmarks.
Telling where they make it, everything else.
I mean, the hallmarks would include a date code, a maker's mark,
Yeah.
a city mark oftentimes.
Well, films are silver.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But, let's see. I've not seen, those are really,
Maybe this will like this name.
okay. George III dinner spoons. Now, can we see there, it's upside down, but there's the stag and crown right there. So George III, my English history is not what it should be. So I can't tell you when George III was a monk. But mid-19th century, I would guess. So anyway, well, there it is. You can see there's the hallmarks, just the way they appear. Also, many of them, you'll see the attachment where they attach the bowl to the handle.
Yes.
$50 for those four. And these are just for looks. I mean, you don't use them, right? Because they're just, they've been around a long time.
Is that sterling?
Well, it predates the sterling standard, which was set later in the 19th century. But I think they could be the equivalent or coin. They're probably coin silver, which is a little bit lower sterling content. So I mean, they're fabulous. But if you wanted to sell them, yeah, this would have been the retailer, right? Charles Graves, yeah, that was the retailer, at least of this piece right here. Oh man, they're
What is
just
it,
beautiful.
1837?
Pardon, 1837. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the maker. Perry Meeks. Perry Meeks, maybe that's a name.
And so.
No, just kidding. A little older. They're great for the whole group. Probably retail $400 or $500.
And
They're wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for bringing them. Penny Nisa. Hello.
how are you?
Dad and his buddy went out to the west, right after the graduation day school, 1935.
Okay.
And they came back, he came back with them. And I have no economic knowledge.
Didn't recognize it's the mascot.
I said.
Yeah, okay, that's okay, it's all right, it's all right. Oh, yeah, well, so you there, you have no other knowledge about it, where it was
No,
made?
I don't know where he was, he died when I was 17.
Okay,
So at the time I was, my mom didn't have any indication of it either. It was made on a loom,
Yes.
two looms, made twice because the pattern doesn't line up.
right,
So,
Right. but this is a Mexican symbol.
oh,
So this is the symbol of the eagle with the snake, is a symbol on a cactus, is a symbol associated with early Mexico. And so, let's see what we can find. The condition is excellent, I'm sure it's.
and I know I'm not supposed to have, it was rough and come back as well, so I thought you can't identify.
Okay,
This one has no pattern on it, it's just, I
Yeah.
thought maybe that could help.
okay, okay.
This is, I thought I was looking at it.
It really is, and the condition is great.
We've kept it as a treasure. Oh, not here.
There it is. So, the same, I mean, the artists who were making these were following a pattern that had been long established. Mexican blanket with eagle and snake. But again, the mounting on a cactus. There's another equally dramatic one. But you can see the design is identical. Pictorial flag serape. Yeah, it wasn't meant to go on the floor, it was a wearing blanket. Some are more dramatic than others. Yaqui, the Yaqui Indians. So you can see, I mean, there's actually the Mexican flag, but that is the symbol right there, a little cruder. But there again, you mentioned the seam. There's the seam right there. That one, in 2020, sold for $375. This one, different style, cactus, 4 1/4, $125. So I mean, the retail would probably be about $300.
I've never seen another one
Yeah,
even close to it, so.
the condition is great. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I wouldn't store them though in the plastic. I'd be like, just brought it down here
Yeah,
for that today. Old pillowcases are great for storing things.
Well, I had it laying on the bed at one point in time, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
was afraid it would, get light damaged and.
If the light came across it every day. There you go. Good.
Thank you very much.
That was fun. Jennifer. Yeah, it's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. Very.
Hello.
How are you?
Fabulous.
I looked up several like it, but
Okay.
that's one like it.
Okay. Okay. Yep. There we go. So a classic black mantel clock. They made them out of marble, they made them out of slate, they made them out of wood, some are even made out of ceramic. Does it work?
Yes,
Does it keeps good time? Okay. Oh, there is a maker mark
Yes.
right there. Do you happen to know what it is out
I
there?
forgot.
Okay, that's all right.
Um,
It's all right. Just a minute, let me
It's
see.
been a while. I looked it up, but
It's patented. Waterbury. So it's a Waterbury marble, and I think slate. I think that's slate
oh, is it?
on the top there. It's in wonderful condition. It's a little bit uneven. That's all right. So time and strike. One winding hole for the clock mechanism, one for the chiming mechanism, an open escapement, so you can, a little skeleton action there. It's in just fabulous condition. So it's been in your family for,
At least 50 years.
it was made about 130 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I see one good old clock at every event that I do, at least one. But usually not quite this, I mean, this is a classic black mantle clock in really high quality.
Great. That's all.
Here's one again, open escapement, and it's funny, these Waterbury clocks sometimes have Roman numerals, but more likely to have, sometimes Roman numerals, but more likely to have Arabic numerals like this one.
Yes.
Here now, but
Very much.
Yeah, it did, it actually does kind of look at, well, yeah. See, open escapement. It's very pretty. Onyx, it says this one is onyx, and I think this is onyx right here.
Okay.
Yeah, gilt decoration. That's the good news. The bad news is that one sold for $40. Can you believe that?
So, well,
It's,
Keeping the family at other.
I mean, here's another one. It's just so sad that these beautiful, beautiful clocks just go begging. And
is this it?
that's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, no, not
Pretty
exactly,
close.
but very close.
well, very close. Open escapement, 1880s, see? Just so you know, I'm not making this stuff up.
and now you get settled.
Yep.
That's it.
There it is,
That's it.
Waterbury.
Back to the,
How much
They
is
were thinking 300 to 400, didn't sell.
I guess it just, what hurry?
It's one, because, you know, people take care of them, and I mean, first, you have to have a good clock guy, and clock guys are getting hard to find if it needs maintenance or cleaning, or, you know. I know one good clock guy, and he's down in Wilton, which is over south of Toma. So,
Okay.
let's,
Well, thank you very much.
you're welcome. Let me do this, set that right there.
Great.
You're good. That's very good, good. Good,
Back to some.
okay,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome, thank you, that's a heavy clock. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jim.
Kathy Mundigler, or Mundigler.
You don't even think it's good as most people do.
I do this for a living, so,
We did better.
hello. Okay,
is it something?
what am I unwrapping here? Okay.
It's just the first name and so possible.
That's what we have.
Oh yeah, Kiyoshi Saito, okay, wonderful. I thought it was gonna be, when I saw his name on the list, I thought it was, have you seen others, examples of his work? He really loved cats. He did lots and lots of cat prints. But this one is wonderful, the Buddha. How did you get this wonderful, I think it's a screen print. How did you get this?
It was at an estate sale.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna,
We purchased it for $1
okay,
in 2013.
oh my. And so it's been in the, it's stayed in the tube.
It's just been.
Okay, okay. So Kiyoshi Saito is one of the best known of all the 20th century woodblock printers. Although I think this one, I mean, it could be a woodblock, but it may also be a screen print. But he, as you'll see, he really liked cats. cat, right there, Kiyoshi Saito's cats. Look at cats and cats and cats. Lots of cats. Lots of cats. Millions of cats. That's a wonderful book by Wanda God. So his cat prints continue to be very, very popular. But, do we have any of the Buddha? We do. There it is. Is that it?
Is it
$350 that one sold for. Now you have a nice signature. There it is, right there in the print. This is the chop mark. 1962. Looks like he only did 6 of these, maybe.
I think it's at 100 or 200.
Oh, okay. There's a number 6 there. I didn't know if that was an addition number.
I think there are different Buddhas,
Oh yes, there are. He did several.
maybe number 6 of Buddhas.
Yep. Well, you can see he did lots of the Buddha.
I'm not sure what this is.
So you got it at a yard sale, you said?
Yeah, and at the States.
For how much?
Went that way.
You're a man after my own heart.
I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a fabulous print. It deserves a home outside of that tube. That's one thing.
Okay, so yeah. Do you think this shipped in this tube?
Could be. It's got Asian characteristics on it. It could have been a shipping tube. Yeah.
But keep it out. What about if there's a paper record? Should you leave that in there?
No, that's just onion skin. That's just to protect. Although this should go on the back. Self-cared, printed Kiyoshi Saito. Yeah, save that. Put that on the back. And was this tight enough to get back in there safely? Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay. What's next?
What's that?
I heard about this. Yeah.
This, again, it was actually at the same state
In Racine.
in Racine.
Well, it makes
We lived in
sense.
Racine.
Well, I was born in Racine.
Really?
Yes. St. Mary's Hospital. January 9th, 5:11 p.m. on January 9th, 1953.
And we were still like filling somebody died.
So it's Sophie Curris of the Racine Bells, of course.
We lived there.
So this is a folk carving. She was in a league of their own, a league of our own, the women's baseball league. Nice pencil drawing of Sophie there, but this is great. This folk carving here. This was also at this estate in Racine. Well, the Racine Bells unfortunately don't get much attention anymore. People forget about them. But there are Sophie Curris artifacts out there. I don't know when she died.
When there.
There is an autographed ball with Sophie Curris's name right in the middle. Of the Racine Bells, 1943 to 54, Hall of Fame, and she was elected to the Hall of Fame, 1988. Also, so there's the Rockford Peaches. Good name. Anyway, that baseball sold for $140 with Sophie's autograph on it. It's a really good primitive, and the further away you get from Racine, the less value it has. So in Racine, $100 is what that's.
Do you think that's her signature on there, or do you think that hers? So
I think it's more likely to be. Well, let's see.
scared.
I mean, it could be. It could be. She had a pretty distinctive way of saying the K on here on Curris is different from the K on here, but that may just be the way it looks like it could be.
That could work. I
Could
didn't
be.
know there was also a winter
Yeah, I saw that.
Joanne Winter on the team. And I don't know if this was signed by a person named Winter. I don't know.
Maybe this is Sophie and that's the winter. Yeah, a great piece of folk art.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you.
So,
Cheryl Wilson. Hello. Okay, okay,
Two cameras.
right up here. Oh my goodness. How on earth did you get this?
Oh, it's been in our family for plus generations. My great grandmother is got it. And it is like higher 53. Right, and actually, as a had the colleagues that are.
So it's pyrography, is what this is called.
Yes, I've seen that in.
So this is burnt carved. This was using a wood burning tool, not electric, kerosene lamp wood burning tool to carve all of this decoration into this pedestal. And then you've got matching candlesticks, which I think are later, and a picture frame but it's all by the same hand, I think, because you can see the quality of the decoration. Pyrographic furniture is the rarest of all pyrographic forms. So to see a pedestal like this in this kind of quality is pretty amazing. So it's the height of pyrography was 1905, 1910. Could this be earlier? And I don't think so. I think it's probably around 120 years old. Does that fit into your family history?
Well, my great grandmother was born in 1872.
Yeah.
So it would be.
Another
Yeah.
generation,
Right.
which would take you right up to 1900.
Okay.
So pyrography or pyrographic. Yeah. Okay, let's just look for pyrography because then you will see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples. There is a folding screen, all decorated, very, very Art Nouveau, which would have been 1890 to 1910. The style of Alphonse Mucha, circa 1900. I myself have owned some pretty amazing examples of pyrography. There's a pyrographic arts and crafts chair. Same era. See? Pyrographic furniture is the rarest of all pyrographic designs. So is there a pyrography pedestal?
Yeah.
There are several, including this one. But not many. Spanish, interesting, mid-20th century. There's a kind of a tambourette. Now that's some pretty good quality, but again, I don't think that is, let's go back here. The highest price for a piece of pyrography, that's German, that's Wiener Werkstatt. There's a desk, slant front desk. I don't see any pyrographic design from there. That's all burl. There's the screen. Oh, the screen then eventually did sell for $22.50. $2,250. There's a good arts and crafts table. There's a guitar with pyrographic design. There's a set of furniture, again, arts and crafts design, 1,100. So the quality of the pyrography at these pieces is really, really good. Just for the pedestal, 1,500. Matching candlesticks, another 500. Picture frames, 100.
So,
Now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Good.
It's just gonna continue to be passed on.
And I mean, it's all, the base is all nicked up and kicked the way you would expect something to be on the floor that got, kicked around. But the rest of it is in just spectacular condition.
I'll check.
Thank
The
you.
Christmas cactus can go back on.
Then, with an underclip, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure no water rains.
Well, there might be on the top.
Yeah, probably. It's been around a long time. That was fun.
Yes.
Thank you
so much.
You're welcome. And they used a soft wood that was easy to burn the design in, so it's usually pretty light.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Renee done? Oh my goodness.
Genie glasses.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Holy moly. No? Where did you get this?
My great grandfather was a jeweler,
Okay.
and he picked up stuff like this all the time. And I got a lot of trinkets that it was weird, and I don't know.
It's not marble.
It isn't.
No, it's soapstone. It's Chinese soapstone, a fabulous carved multi-urn soapstone creation with a two-tone. You've got one type of stone here on the bottom, and then the urns were attached on the top. Very, very popular in the early 20th century. The condition looks like it's excellent, but this is exactly, there's a fish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, or it looks it's probably a koi. I don't think I've seen one with fish on it before. Some of them are very, very elaborate. Some of them have monkeys climbing, but usually it's flowers, urns, and birds in the foliage. So what we have, I've never seen one with fish. How many are there with fish? Well, what do you think? Usually the top part is that rusty mixed inclusion color, just like this one, and just like this one. But on the base, there's those giant,
Oh, yeah.
the giant carp, koi. Now, what is that? That looks like that might be the Buddha, might be the laughing Buddha. There are human figures. So they call this a brush washer. This could also be used as a brush washer. I don't think so. I think it was just a big elaborate vase. Yeah, so amazing. $300 that one sold for. How big was it? It was only 14 inches tall. So that was, this one was, I think, a little smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 14.
Yes.
But the artists who were making these had to work with the shape of the stones. So the shape of the stones will determine how fancy the flowers got, how big the urns were.
there's fish. I don't see any fish. I just
They call that one a brush pot tooth. Some of them are gigantic. I don't know how they ever were able to move them. And the ones that have not just fish but monkeys get very elaborate, like this one. Covered with monkeys. But see, they all have these urns.
Okay, so, oh,
They just call this one a flower holder. It's $20. That's sad. Isn't that sad? So, soapstone, Chinese, early 20th century.
right, they get one. So,
There's a flower stand with carved monkeys and the Monkey King. So, it's wonderful condition, but retail today is about $200, $250. Okay?
And where would I sell?
Oh, if you wanted to sell it, I would use Facebook Marketplace. It's free.
Okay.
You're dealing locally. Put it out there for $300. That'll give you a little wiggle.
I think it'll just go back in the condo.
Okay. And make a great doorstop. A great doorstop too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Renee. Winter perhaps? Well, let's see what we know about H.E. Hultman. Maybe go back to ask F2. Anders, Fritz, and Barbara. That has Hultman. Done. And it's definitely H.E. So it's none of those people. All right, so let's go back here. Have you done any research on them?
Just look for the name.
Okay.
Never.
No, and according to this, there are none that have come into the secondary market. Yeah, I think that's but there are pencil marks on here, which makes me think that these are original works. And anyway, they are pretty wonderful. It reminds me a little bit of the drawings that would have been on ledger paper. This was, Robert F. Morgan, a big, elaborate piece signed in the same way, 150 for that one. I think that's a kind of a old example. Dick Phelps, very similar. How big was that? 14 by 11.
So if you wanted to display them, how would you do it? Put them like in one big frame or put them?
Oh no, I think individual. I think individually. What I'm looking for when I'm looking at these, first off, there's a pencil notation up here in the corner. And if I see a pencil signature or a pencil outline for the final ink drawing, that tells me that they were original works. Governor Diego Naranjo, Santa Clara Pueblo. There you go, that's cool. Don't know who held it was.
It's a set of circular 31 that were formed the same thing in numbers.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good way to track it down. I think they are original pen and ink discs. I can't go through all of them, but as original pen and ink drawings, at least $50 each, I would say. These are really nice. Can't tell you who that was either.
had a fairly good conversation ahead of
Right, exactly. Yeah, zinc, if we're making a zinc cut, you know, being a printer's son, I know exactly what that means. So, great stuff. Thanks for bringing them. Okay. Mary Jo Blaney Cole.
We did.
Oh, we did that, okay. Susan Hoover. Hello.
Oh, give me steps.
Okay.
This gives it to me over 7 years ago. I was with looks a little on off family. One deal is starting to come off. Okay, top.
So molded wool, and her outfit is also all wool. So this is a fashion doll.
It wasn't the lady that came to me was quite a bit older too. These spots too.
Okay.
You know what?
Now this is all right because I'm a doctor.
But she said to me, she was a young woman. But the women, these weren't to be played with.
No.
They were for adult women, and they put it in the back of their jalopies.
Yeah. Yep.
For dance to drive.
It's a fashion doll.
Yeah.
So the fashion dolls really, you know, laid the groundwork for dolls like Barbie and you know, more contemporary dolls. Yeah,
Body is kind of like that.
she's all legs. The shoes are in there. I see the heel is coming off there a little bit. But Lency dolls, you know, survive very well as long as there are no molds around, because it's all wool.
Even though I've kept it in a protected space and environment, with age, obviously it's the
Right. It's too narrow to say. Very striking. 24-inch, I think that's
yeah. And it's a lot of head.
yeah, a little more, maybe 26. In a big boudoir doll. That's the word.
Good.
There we go. So here is a 1930s 24-inch Lency boudoir doll. Now this lady's eyes, she's kind of looking sideways, and many Lency dolls did do that. Molded wool fabric. If she's even missing a shoe. Good hair. I think this looks like it's all original. She's got a buff.
Yeah.
In 2017, $900 for that doll. $1,100.
All the shoes are similar.
Pardon?
The shoes on this one are kind of similar.
Yeah.
It would tie.
Yeah. Yep, same shoes.
So good.
Another similar hat, similar style hat. $2,200. So a limited market, but within that niche, within that collector niche, they are very, very enthusiastic for them. Probably a couple thousand, I would say.
And if I wanted to sell it, there's no one to hand it down to. I would also fix the pocket. Oh, face or specialized.
Yeah, there are several or auction companies that specialize in doll sales. One is McMaster's Harris. But if you wanted to stay more local, I would try the one in Cambridge, Wisconsin. Major Wisconsin Auctions. Greg Klug is the owner.
Nature's Toxin.
Auctions. Yeah, she's great.
So you're saying couple spots?
I think the retail price would be a couple thousand. I don't, maybe not an auction price, but pretty close. Okay.
Oh, we have still here. Yeah, how to keep house with deer.
Get her, okay, all right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Susan. Jennifer or Josh or both. The Friesens. Hello.
And she moved on.
Oh, I see that.
Not very much about.
Okay,
Other than it was in the house.
okay.
Sitting in the house for an attic for a long time. I try looking some of that.
PREF. Interesting. So, I mean, I think it's big. 1930s, probably. These buttons look very Art Deco to me. So it was in a house.
We bought a house and the family that I lived before us said that this coat was in the attic, the exact same spot the entire time they lived it or touched it. Ironically, the house sat in I looked at it. How many feet from where it's checked.
And so it was never
Touched.
You know what? Hanger is collectible. The hanger alone has value. Did you know that? It's an advertising hanger. Rockford, Decatur, Van Ormond Hotels. The Hotel McCurdy in Evansville, Indiana. Hotel Shawnee. I want to look at the hanger. Here's what happens to these wonderful old coats, because nobody wears them today. It's not, I don't think it's appropriate to wear coats like that. That's just one man's opinion. However, there are some people who cut them up and make them into teddy bears.
Okay.
And you could go to a flea market or some other kind of event, and there will be people there selling teddy bears cut from old mink coats. So look it up. They have got advertising all over the hangers. Just the hanger alone is worth $3. Oh, come on, they've got to be worth more than that. Maybe look at these guys. Grand Rapids, our only store. New York, Boston, Washington, Savannah, Grand Rapids, Rochester, Cleveland, the hotel. Maybe we could just use hotel hangers. There we are. they're not as valuable as I thought. So you can keep it with the coat hanger. Actually, that's a really nice wood hanger. So what is it worth? A good mink stole like this, when they come up for sale, they're about $100. But see, you can find them online. I'm sure, excuse me, the people who cut them up and make them into teddy bears, sell them now. See what they'll do it for.
Yeah.
Okay?
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Joanne Service.
Come on, see.
Hello.
Vitus. There it is, she's gone. You got to give it the stone for a buck.
This,
So it is signed.
Is it?
Well, no, it's a facsimile, but it is Henri Matisse, 1952. So this was part of a portfolio of prints that Matisse created. But my question is it a reprint or is it an original? I think it may be a reprint, but we can sure find a comparable example. You can not very hard to tell. Anyway, the condition is great, but there was a whole series of these. And so you got that at the thrift store
For a buck, yeah.
for $1.
Let's hope I get what's worth something.
Well, I can't, looking at it, I mean, it seems fresh to me. I don't want that to fall over. It seems very fresh to me. It's, if it was from 1952, I would think it would have show a little more age.
Okay.
Aha, you said. Now,
but,
but that Matisse 52 is in a different spot than that.
Yes, in straight, damaged.
Also, there's the telltale sign of an acidic mat, and it's still sold for $500. 75. Again, it's up here. It's not down there.
Yeah.
Underneath the foot.
50,
It's still, I think it would still be worth at least $50.
Worth a lot.
There it is. Now look at this one. Let's just make sure. Now see, that's also in a different spot, but it doesn't have the same colored background. This one is just a blue and nothing else. Yeah. Good stuff though. Yeah, that was a good buy. Thank you. All right, we've plowed right into hour 3, so we're gonna watch on here with Susan Murphy.
Or this supposed to bring you odds for fetching, or
Oh, okay,
it must be somewhere else in the family. I found this at my house.
okay,
Couldn't find it,
okay,
so we brought you some other.
okay.
Oh. Step up. Look, folks.
Yeah. It is old. It is old. It is a sterling silver bud base, but it's had kind of a hard life. It has. Someone knocked it off the mantle. On the bottom, it says sterling, excuse me, and it also says weighted. So what they would do is, this is just a little hollow thin shell. They would put, it's actually kind of a concrete inside to weight it down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got this from the old country, but
No, I think it's probably American. It could be English. It could be English. So did you have two spots? Or just,
no, I don't know how to do that, but
oh,
I didn't know.
intaglio cufflinks?
It does somewhere.
Yeah.
Here, no, turn that.
Roman intaglio glass, very nice. Really good results.
Like,
You know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if someone were to offer you, so we won't be able to do one thing.
oh, one thing.
Yeah, right, that's okay. Hard life, fall off the mantle. If someone were to offer you $3,
That's okay. I mean, I just thought,
yeah,
really,
you get the money back to early in your tank. Smile, and then the drive. Okay,
okay, thank you.
next time.
That's okay.
Okay.
No, please. I think,
Janine?
sorry, just, yeah, like,
Hello.
those spray paints and stuff, because it's, right?
Well, they're no fun.
I know, sorry, I brought it.
Miniature advertising William Shakespeare. Compliments of Sam Auerbach, Schwartz and Levy Incorporated, women's neckwear and novelties.
And that's so funny. I'm not gonna be.
Leather covered miniature Shakespeare, which as you like it. Very fun. Knickerbocker Leather and Novelty Company. Well, the Knickerbocker Leather and Novelty Company made all kinds of miniature books, sometimes whole volumes. So and they made them for just like that, as advertising, premiums. That's brothers.
You to read. Read it.
There they are.
Yeah.
So those are all Shakespeare's works. 24 miniature Shakespeare leather pocketbooks. Those are coming up for auction, so they haven't sold yet. There they are. Mini Shakespeare. $120 for the whole pile.
I only have one.
And you only have the one. So,
Sold for 20.
yeah, there you go, what to do about nothing, there it is. Compliments of Tremont Trust Company, so, $20.
All right.
Okay,
Fine.
good,
It's a great idea.
that's okay. That's okay, Barbara, yeah, you're welcome, Barbara Nelson.
She come. Who made some good. She's thinking her. Yeah.
Hello.
Brother. Yeah. Yeah. Then. One more.
So 80, so 80.
That's it. Where?
Stern, bearded man, chin beard, and he was a veteran. He had so what? Yes.
Oh, it's here.
He had that beard, a lot more beard. Oh, what is interesting? The badge that he's wearing. What do you know about the badge that he's wearing in this Polish? Don't know you can. That's a GAR badge. Which stands for the Grand, and there it is, another one. The Grand Army of the Republic, which was the Union Soldiers Veterans Organization. And there is a GAR insignia, pinned back. Yeah. So they would wear these at their encampments where the Civil War veterans got together at reunions to oh yeah, that's off his hat. So this is a charcoal drawing based on a photograph. It's signed by an artist, which is kind of unusual. You don't normally see charcoal drawings.
You know, we can't figure out who it is.
CM. or GM, is it Gray, Gray, Grah? So, oftentimes these drawings had a repair, the husband as a wife, but you only have the guy, right? Okay. Okay, well, the molded picture frame is, it's done in gesso, which is just a fancy word for plaster, so tends to get nicks and dinged and aged. The gilt liner here is in pretty good shape. If he had his uniform on, they have more collector interest there, and I mean, you're not gonna park it, of course, but, it looks like the backing is render replaced, that's nice. This would have had cedar or cardboard on the back, old cedar boards, which should be thrown away as soon as possible if you have any more like that, because they're very acidic. You'll eventually eat away at it. So, Civil War veteran chapel. So, for instance, because he's in his uniform, and they all kind of look like that. They're all a little bit flat, a little bit. But this was a Confederate soldier, and so that has more interest to Civil War collectors. And we also know who it was. Captain Dr. Thomas Richard Mew of the 9th Tennessee Volunteers. That one sold for $400 2 years ago. Partly because it's Civil War, and partly because he's in his uniform. Trumpeter, small portrait here, this one. He must have been he's got his kefi on. Also GAR badges, but look at the frame. The frame it might be the same, it might be a very similar frame. $45. So they are very common. The more fancy they are with the uniform, the more money they sell for. Out of uniform, less than $1. Good. Okay. Thanks for breakdown. That's a cabinet photo, by the way. That's a great survival. You should scan that in. We talked about that earlier. That big digital scan will always exist just the way it does today.
All right, thank you.
Well, Bonnie fell. And Steve, if you want to come up at the same time, okay. Come on.
We start with what she did.
Well, that's up to you.
It's gonna say,
You know it.
she did. Oh, it's a different. Huh?
So this looks like a courier, and I've seen on the top of a covered casserole dish. A lady came into one of my programs once, and she set her treasure down on the table, her stool, and she said, "This was our family soup tureen." And I said, "Well, ma'am, that's a chamber pot." So rinse it out real well. This is not a chamber pot. It's a covered casserole, decorated with scenes by Courier Knights. It's completely unmarked. But how do you come to have this? Is it part of a larger set?
Well, I have more pretty nice. This is fine.
Okay. It's not an antique. I don't think it's 100 years old. I think it probably dates from just post-World War II. So late 40s, early 50s. It's not quite institutional wear, which was the kind of thing they would have made for hotels and restaurants. That's just a cool. So, value today, because it's unmarked, it doesn't have any Furrier and Ives printing on it, just the wonderful emblem, less than $20, I would say. But the pardon?
Sure.
They may have, sometimes they came in flour sacks, I know that. But, yeah, nice and white, never been used. Have you ever used it for food? You can safely use it if you wish. Okay, what's next?
Well,
Okay, okay. All right, so when you get 2 items, I would like to do the pipe, the step pipe, don't you think?
Well, that's
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. So a regimental type, German, transfer decorated bowl, ceramic bowl with a stag and some printing. Probably, these are actually pieces of carved horn, and this may be celluloid or bakelite, and there's a little flexible. So some of the regimental pipes are, I mean, they're like 3 feet long, and they are decorated with insignia from uniforms. How do you come to have this?
that was in my grandfather's collection.
Okay. So it is a small regimental smoking pipe. And you can see some of the bowls get very, very fancy. But sometimes the stems are wood that still have, see? These are big elk knobs off of elk antlers. But see, the mouthpiece is identical to that mouthpiece there. Sometimes they're molded cow horn, sometimes they're bakelite, sometimes they are cellular. You could still, I mean, it would, you know, it could come in handy. The marijuana laws continue to evolve. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Yeah, see what they were. Let's say it. Some of them are really long, elaborate, fancy. And I don't know that any of those long ones were ever actually smoked, but they could have been. They were more just for show. Here's a pair of them, $65. See, that's a very elaborate, carved and molded cow horn. That was a craft that you could actually become apprenticed to. So you could learn how to mold and carve cow horn. Some the young apprentice who did it wrong, the cow horn turned this kind of sickly green color. So until you learned your craft, you were called a greenhorn. That's where it comes from. Okay.
Starts bleeding.
Good.
Oh, you like it? I never keep it. But not.
Looks of it. Okay. Good.
I know.
Thank you, buddy, Steve, and okay. Good. Oh, Krista.
Yeah.
I've got this, I got it. Okay.
Good.
Million people. Hello, sir. Hi there. And growing up, I was interested in baseball cards. Me neither. I put them in the spokes of my bike to make it sound like a motorcycle. I collected car cards. Oh. I have a collection of about 100 of them. Okay. I found out they're not worth anything. Okay. So the baseball cards, I had my best friend
came from a wealthy family, and his parents were buying the whole box.
Oh, my.
And all of them. And Larry's, I think when his parents moved from one house to the other, they went to the dumpster. Well, mine sat my parents' attic until I had to sell the house. Back in early 1990s. And that was one of them. This is another one. Those are the two that are supposedly the more valuable ones. I've got, these are Bowman cars.
Yeah.
I've got 27 of them there. And back when I found them, a fellow told me he could go to this sporting goods store and get the stuff to put them in to save them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And-
Over in Marshfield, that's close to where I live.
Well, I was in Stevens Point, but
Yeah.
anyhow,
I'm in Iowa.
and I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew the boys at Krause because my real interest was in cars. Fortunately for cars, I did own a lot of significant cars. One that took first place at Pebble Beach, which
Oh, yeah.
anyhow, good, back to these. But I was never interested in the cards, and at school the kids would have them in their pockets and weren't gonna I went to the box and they never went anywhere.
This is a great way to display this.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about grading, as you're probably aware.
Well, I was told by two people that were really good that this is about 8.5.
Okay, on the grading scale.
Yeah.
So the grading of baseball cards has gotten down to such, tiny details, including where because it would have been a large sheet, and they would have cut it all up. And sometimes the scribe marks were not followed, and so might be a little bit off. This is just a hair low,
Yeah.
but in the center, otherwise, it looks great. So this is Mickey Mantle, this is number 59 in the Bowman set.
And of course, I was told about this stuff, and to get it graded, I have to stick it in the box and send it out to California.
No, you don't. No, no.
That's what
If these are cards that you want to sell, there are auction houses that have their own grading experts. So you don't have to take the extra step. Phil Weiss, my buddy from Antiques Roadshow, Lynbrook, New York, on the South Shore of Long Island, is a great guy, honest, and he has his own grading experts. If he wanted to sell these.
Well, it's interesting because
I got this, my table's rolling away. There we go, it's okay. Now that is a comparable, see, it's even lower on the card than yours is, this one. See, it's even a little bit lower. Still sold for $750. There's a good one, graded 4.5, 1,700.
Yeah.
1,300. Corner bumps, well, that one's autographed. The Mick autographed, 2,400. That one, 5, graded 5. So, you're saying that someone told you this should have
I
been.
had two fellas that are currently very well into this at 8.5, and one of them told me that they had a big show in Chicago last fall, and I did go down there, and somebody from California was there that could have had it graded at that time, but unfortunately for me, I got.
Well, unfortunately, if you go to Chicago, you have to drive to Chicago, right? Forget it. And I know that there are many people from Illinois who will come to Door County, but I don't go the other way. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, even a 5 grade is gonna probably sell for $1,000. So if in fact it is 8.5, it would be fun to find out what that would sell for. The top price here, it's not a rookie card, but it's an early card. There's the rookie card. 6,000 for that one. 51. 320,000. 115,000. 85. 75. So, they're all still great. But if you wanted to get another opinion, you should contact Phil Weiss Auctions.
I'll have to.
You can send them to him. Yeah. Or just take my card and send me an email, and I'll send you his contact information.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. You're taking good care of them.
Well, that's because they're in a box. Never looked at.
Sure.
But they are interesting, and I had, there was a fella in Door County here that, I don't know his name, but, collected cards and advertised that he was going to give somebody, a prize for, sell some of these cards and donate them to something.
Oh.
So come on over and I'll look at it. So I went over there, he was standing in the driveway when I got there, and showed him the cards, and he said, well, first of all, there were 2 matching ones, and he said, why don't you just give me those for looking at them? He told me, I thought, well, that's really nice.
Wow.
And then,
did you decline his offer?
Then he offered me $2,500 for all the cards. And I thought, well,
Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Thank you.
Cindy Massey. Hello. Okay. Okay.
It's portrait miniature.
Well, now, do you each have a spot here?
No.
Oh, okay. Is there another one that you would rather
No.
have? Okay, this is the one.
This is
Okay.
We'll show you something, but then
Okay.
it's not gonna.
It's okay.
Just so I can know the back.
Sure. Sure.
I actually have a printout, but
Okay. What does it say?
I think it's a mystery.
Okay. Well, this is a tiny little watercolor of a beautiful young woman in a cap. Early 19th century, probably 1820. Does that make sense? Yeah? Does the artist's name on the back? No, that's too bad. Most of these are anonymous.
Mine, I don't think it is, but
Yeah.
I'd rather not say right now.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So a really nice portrait miniature of a young woman, a girl, not a girl, I think she's an adult. In a cap. Just very fancy. Now this one is on heavy paper stock, rather than ivory. Many of them are painted on thin sheets of ivory. This one is also in profile. Well, I mean, if you think you know the artist's name, that would add a lot to the value. Without knowing the artist's name,
I think I know the name of the person in the portrait.
oh, okay, that's also good. But still, our retail for these is about $200. Okay. Yeah, 1820s. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Rob Van Gelling, or T-Rob.
It is right here.
Van's good Wisconsin name begins with a van. Hello.
You raised that, you ate lunch?
That's right. Ginger Van der Zand was the girl I took to senior prom in 1971. A few months ago, I was doing an appraisal event. I didn't recognize her. She came and sat down and she said, "Team was that for me?" Now that's dangerous because obviously neither of us had changed yet. So it's a good old violin, and a lot of times these are called wall hangers, and so this is actually a wall hanger.
Right.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's got a label on the inside.
Yes.
Okay. How did you mount it this way or?
No, I got an auction of house of a conductor, a farm up there. And it looks just like that.
Okay. So,
Actually,
Stradivarius, Cremonesis, Faccibatano, that's Latin for made in the year, and it says 17, and then there's nothing after. It is not Stradivarius. No, it was part of a marketing scheme by German violin makers to sell their, and this is not a full-size violin, it's a small version. It's a student violin, and that's where they were targeted mostly, was their student violinists in the late 19th and early 20th century. This is about 100 years old. Good shape, and you can just tell by looking at it that it has not been played a lot. Chin rest looks like it's barely been touched. Do you know how is it mounted? Is it just?
yeah, it's a fire.
Okay, that's the way I see the wire coming through. Yeah, someone drilled into the back, ran the wire through. Okay, so how did this come into your life?
At an auction up here.
Okay,
And a 10 life, and when the asphalt.
yeah,
I saw it, and
yeah,
I felt like hearing my senses.
right.
And then I talked to a violinist and said that even the fakes are starting to raise some serious money.
They're hundreds, not thousands. So, and you write the auction, what you pay for it.
Very kind.
That's exactly what it's worth. That would be a fair price in an auction or an antique shop. Actually, you know what? It's really, really nice walnut frame. Yeah, you could put if you wanted to get rid of the violin, you still have a great frame. Okay. Leon, is it Racer? Yeah, rather. Racer. Okay. Hello.
This is a soggy first.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, dedicated to this publishers. They all not me. Well, I think
Yeah, he usually signed it P. Verlaine or Verlaine. How on earth did this come into your life?
it's very long story. I was the administrator of the state. A friend of mine who passed away, and everything on the auction block with the auctioneers was an online auction during college, and several things were left behind. That is what should be in.
It's a really beautifully bound copy and of Verlaine's Confessions. And boy, did he have a lot to confess. He died at 51, and how he managed to live to the age of 51, living the kind of life he did, is nothing short of amazing. So the funny thing is that, have you read all of his poems? No, I haven't either. French poetry is not a high priority for me. But even someone who led a profligate, I think profligate is being kind to the kind of life he led, he is still the very popular today in France, and I don't know why, because he was just, he basically abandoned his wife and child to run off and have other numerous relationships.
Yes.
And this is the way he signed almost all of his books, P. Verlaine or Verlaine. So, but most of the stuff that we have here in these results are letters. In fact, there is a Verlaine Society. That's what he looked like near the end of his life. Anders Zorn did a sketch of it. Yeah, not much to look at. But it's almost like the portrait. I cannot find a signed copy of Confessions. Well, I found one. I shouldn't say that. I found one. Then it's on ABE Books. Hashish and Incense. There you go. Oh yeah, there's the Verlaine Society compact. Yeah, there's another sketch that someone did in the. Okay, let me very quickly go back here. This one, right here, signed in the same way, Verlaine. I want to see what the cover looks like. A really nice cover, marble boards. They're asking $5,700. Now, I don't think that's a realistic sell. Because what I'm seeing here for other examples of his signature, I'm not getting anywhere near that. But of course, there are bibliophiles that would. Here's one. And again, he always signed his name. He didn't always sign P, but he usually signed. Sometimes he wrote Paul. That one sold for $3,200. That, I think, for a good later edition, signed. There's another one, $1,300 or more. So, a few thousand for being left behind at the estate sale. Very good. Thank you. Amy Marks. Dirty. Okay. So I'm to settle an argument.
Well, she's not here.
Oh.
Her sister.
Okay. Okay.
So she's a huge Walt Disney fan.
Okay.
My sister and I did this after Dad passed.
It's a very, very early Mickey.
Can't tell.
Okay.
Is there some? Oh, this
This
was
is
their.
a card.
Yeah, there was an appraisal.
Oh, okay. Stuffed Mickey Mouse.
Mike, you first thought.
Oh, the TVP. Where was that? Oh, Galesburg. Okay. Yeah. But they didn't say. There's nothing on here about what it's worth. Okay. So when Walt.
Oh, she said 18 to 25.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Fair.
When Walt Disney created Mickey Mouse, Mickey had a tail, and it was decided that he looked too much like a big rat. So the tail eventually disappeared. But this is This is the pie eye Mickey. See the wedge cut out of his eye. Excellent. That is intentional. This is pie eye Mickey with the composition shoes, molded composition. He's been well loved, but I don't think they have loved all the value out of him yet. 11 inches tall.
He's kind of creepy looking.
He is. Yes, and this Mickey is now in the public domain.
Yeah.
So the copyright on him has expired. So.
The safety pins still look original. Or maybe they are,
I don't think it's Stipe, but Stipe did make a Mickey. So he's got the shorts, he's got the big buttons on the front, he's got the gloves, and he's got the red shoes. That is a Stipe Mickey that sold for $450. I think that is just it.
like, yeah, no,
I think
that's some with shoes.
Yep. So there he is with Minnie. The hands look right. The shoes look right. He's been played with heart. The pair of them, how tall are they? 11 3/4 inches. So that's the same one. They're measuring to the height of the ears. Yeah. Yep. Here's another one. I think that.
He's got the same color shorts.
Yeah.
Really doctors.
Yes.
But I don't know that looks like he's also got little lines under his eyes, and this one does not, unless those were added by some child. So that's also a Stipe. That's also a Stipe Mickey. There's one, there's another one. Yeah, there he is. $50 Canadian. So yeah, I mean, in that condition, probably 100, a little more.
Wow.
Yeah, so what was the other, oh no, yeah, 18 to 2,500.
If made by sticker, 2,500 if it had the made by sticker.
Oh, okay,
Focus.
Okay,
now you know.
now you know. No, we could give it to our sister, like, on this gotta be a bullet.
What happens at the appraisal event stays at the appraisal. All right.
Laura Landercross.
Close enough.
Big finish. No pressure.
No, German.
No pressure.
Here we go.
Oh, Landercross. Yeah.
So I said,
Okay. Close enough for going your book.
and so this, I remember my grandmother finding, probably in 1972, in Milwaukee, in the hood,
Okay.
and it was half buried.
Oh yeah, I heard this story. This is amazing.
Half buried in her front yard, so with no additional story. Because of that maybe stone. And so I hung on to it. It's a batch.
What's interesting about this marble figure is that why is the head angled like this? I don't understand why, but that's the way you always see them. Unless, I mean, it's a copy of what was it again?
Psyche.
No, the Psyche of Capua. Yep. Yeah. So it always looks like, to me, it always looks like that villain woman in the first Ghostbusters movie. Because in fact, Dan Aykroyd says, "Hey, flat top." But this is a very well-known image of the Psyche of Capua, and she always looks like this. She's always looking down. Now, the arms, of course, so it's a copy. This was probably a Grand Tour bronze, a bargain.
meaning that it was a souvenir brought back from a trip on the Grand Tour, late 19th century, early 20th century. They all look the same.
That's what I got some.
They all look the same. So there were studios in Italy churning these things out as souvenirs for the tourists who were coming in the 19th century. So obviously the original Psyche of Capua had been damaged in some way. They took the top of her head right off, and the back as well, and her arms. So kind of like the Venus de Milo. And you will also find them in Parian, which is actually marble dust that was put in a mold. But this was not marble dust in a mold. This one was signed Moran, 23.5 inches, so quite a bit taller. The scroll is how tall? Just under 15. Yeah, but they're all this white Carrara marble. It says alabaster. 18.5. Buried in the yard. Isn't that amazing? She's in, she's in pretty good shape, I would say. It's $3, save you a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the big finish.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.